everybody. I welcome you to Nurse Live TV. Thank you all so much for subscribing. How is everybody doing? I don't know whether you can see me. Let me turn. Let me let me open my window here. It's been a long time. I don't know if it is gonna help any. Yes, long time. Longest time. I'm trying to get to a better lightning. Yes. So as you can see from my video description, I just want to give an update on my education journey, okay? And then also talk about my work life so far with the VA hospital as a nurse on the medical surgical floor. I'm not sure whether my lightning system is okay, but I really hope you can see me. I really hope you can see me. I'm in my computer space where uh, where I do my schooling, business, and stuff. I have two computers, as you can see. All right, so let's start with the DNP program. It consists of 13 courses. 8 of them is didactic, and then 5 is doctoral projects. I haven't gotten into the doctoral project yet. I'm still in my didactic. I have 2 courses to go. I have 2 more courses to go. But as I sit right now, I am super frustrated. I am super frustrated with one professor called Lydia, Professor Lydia. I just want to create awareness about her. And even when you send her an email, she doesn't respond. When you send her an email, she doesn't even respond. I really hope my volume is clear and my sound is good, and you all can hear me when you watch it later. Professor Lydia is a pain in my neck. A pain in my neck. I've had her for 2 of my courses. I don't know who just joined. Please, can you type whether you can hear my voice or not? Can you hear my sound? I want to make sure somebody can hear me when they type. Whoever has joined, can you type whether you can hear my voice? Can you hear the sound clear? Because what I'm sharing is quite important. It might guide somebody who is also planning on studying their doctoral program in Capella University. Please type if you can hear my voice. Baba, Babaliki, yeah. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So I'm talking about I'm giving an update on my doctoral. Thank you very much, Quivido. Thank you for verifying for me. I'm giving an update on my doctoral program, Doctor in Nurse Practice, that I'm doing with Capella University. And I tell you, the professor, I've had her for 2 of the courses. She marks everything down. She marks everything that I'm doing. She will mark it down and give some bogus comments like APA style. Every section has to have the APA style, which is so ridiculous. Like, it's like she is intentionally delaying your completion of the course. She is intentionally, like, she's doing it on purpose from every indication. That's how I see it. I'm sorry if my voice sounds so harsh and so strong, but I'm really angry. I thought of coming here to vent my frustration at this point because Professor Lydia is just frustrating me to the core. She marks everything down. Sometimes the last assessment 4, she marked all the criterion distinguished, and the last part for the APA style, she marked it as basic. And whenever they mark it as basic, which means you have to go and redo it, redo whatever portion she's marking as basic and resubmit. And it takes her 3 to 4 days, 3 to 4 days for her to mark. She takes her sweet time, long period of time before she will mark the I'm just creating this awareness so that when anybody start their doctoral program, um just be aware of Professor Lydia. I think the last name, I can't pronounce the last name, but yeah. If you get my bundle for the DNP program, her name and everything is going to be in there. Just beware, because she will frustrate you to bits. I tell you the truth. She will frustrate you to bits. So instead of her marking this paper so I can start the seventh paper, now she marked it down. So I have to redo it, resubmit. Yes, that's how frustrating it has been. It has taken almost 2 weeks now because she's been marking it down back and forth. When she marks it down, it will take another 4 days for her to 3 to 4 days for her to mark it. She's really, really, I don't want to use any strong word, but he's like a witch. She's a witch waiting for the downfall of student or something. I don't know, but it's just crazy, super crazy with her. I really hope they will send me a survey, and I really will give her zero stars if I can. When you send her an email, she doesn't even respond. She doesn't respond to the email. And I think she's marking it out of anger or frustration because I question her why it takes long for her to mark the assessment. So she's marking everything down. I think it's just like someone taking revenge or something. It's really hard dealing with a crazy professor. Anyways, enough of my rant about Capella. So I'm almost at the end part of the didactic courses. I have 2 more to go, and then I will begin my doctoral practicum, which is the clinical aspect. Now, they already denied the first clinical site that I submitted. That was Atrium Hospital. I'm here in North Carolina. Atrium Hospital is the biggest or one of the biggest, if I'm not mistaken. They claim that Atrium said they are not taking new learners, new student learners at this time. And I'm like, every one nurse practitioner and one doctor wanted to be my preceptor. They all work with Atrium. So how do I get my clinicals done if they claim they are not taking? Anyways, it's quite frustrating. I've submitted another one. I've submitted another site, and I am praying and hoping that this one will be accepted. If it get accepted, then definitely by ending of March, I'm going to begin my practicum. And my prayer is that maybe perhaps by the second billing cycle, maybe the first week of the second billing cycle, I'll be able to complete the program. That's my target goal. But I'll keep you all updated how it's going. Now, let's talk about work journey at the VA hospital, Veterans Affairs Hospital. So VA hospital is a federal, hospital. So we work for the federal. We are federal employees. So recently, about a week ago, we had an email. Everybody had the same email, and it said that we can resign, voluntary resignation. So I don't do politics, and I'm not here to do politics, okay? I'm not here to discuss anything politics, but I just want to give an update. This is I'm 8 months in it so far. I just want to share my journey. Oh, okay, you got to go. Okay, no worries. So I just wanted to share my journey so far, how work has been so far. Any regrets? Will I do it again if I was to, go in for the first time? What advice I have for anybody who is on the fence and trying to get a job at the VA hospital. I'm giving my honest opinion. Bye. Thanks for watching. And thanks for liking it. I believe you are the one who gave the thumbs up. So thanks for doing that. I want to give my honest opinion. I'm still working there. And I'm going to talk about the realities that I'm facing at work. Okay. So this will give you informed information and ask yourself, is it worth it? Okay. Is it worth coming to work there? Okay. From every observation I've made so far at that workplace, I personally, and this is my personal opinion, I personally feel like if you are in your 50s and looking for where to retirement job, maybe you've worked your entire life, you didn't create any business that is bringing you extra income and all that you can even depend on, and you want to be at in a company that will retire you in a very great manner, then VA is for you. Okay. VA, like I said in my first video about them, they have a completely different software for nursing chart and everything. Most hospitals use Epic for charting. Most hospitals use Senna. What's the other one? Senna, Epic. I've forgotten the other name. Another software that big corporations, the hospital corporations, they use it to they use it for the hospital, the nurses to chart, their computer system for charting. Epic is I think by far the largest used, if I'm not mistaken. So they don't have any Epic, which it bothers me a bit, because I wanted to have an experience. I wanted to be trained on how to use Epic so I can pick PRN shifts, travel nurse shifts at other hospitals as whenever I choose, if I want to. So, and I'm still working on getting to maybe another hospital where I can be trained to use Epic, because Epic is basically everywhere. Epic is everywhere. They have their own system called CPRS, BCMA, and believe it or not, it's just redundancy in charting. Yeah, that's a con. CON, con. Pros and cons. One con is that redundancy in charting in that CPRS and BCMA. Yeah. And they said Trump said you can voluntarily retire. If you want to go on retirement, you can send a letter to your manager and retire voluntarily, and they will pay you up to September 2025 this year. Even after you send your resignation letter and it's approved, they will keep paying you. Even when you don't come to work, they will keep paying you till September 2025, and then officially they'll be done with you. So they want people to go out there, explore, get another job. I don't know the goal of this. Like I said, I'm not a politics person. I don't like discussing politics, but it is what it is. I just want people to know. So I'm looking at it like, okay, where do I go from here? Where do I want to, take my career or my journey to? It all depends. I'm still thinking about it. We have up to tomorrow, 11:59, to make that decision, final decision, whether to quit or whatever. All right, let's discuss the pros and the cons. Let's talk about the cons first. So one thing I've observed the past 8 months I've been there, we are mostly short of staff. We are mostly short of staff. Now, I don't know that if this is a canker for all the hospitals. All the other hospitals are always short of staff, but we are. I can practically count the number of times that I was at the job and we had enough hospital nurses to cover our shifts. I can practically count. It happened about maybe two, three times. The rest, we are always short of staff. Like last night, and today is February 9th. Last night on the 8th, I started with four patients. By midnight, I had two more patients because because of how their schedules are. The schedule is said that we have to do 40 hours, 80 hours every 2 weeks. So the schedule is like you have some 12-hour shifts, 8-hour shifts. So we have staff that come in early and leave at 12 midnight. So at midnight, we are short of staff because of that 8-hour shift thing. So CNAs are leaving. Then nurses downgrade to become CNAs, work as CNAs, give their patients to the other nurses, share their patients across to the other nurses, which to me is not cool. You start with four, you end with six by morning. And it can be really, really frustrating, very, very frustrating, especially when they put you where all the almost everybody there is on antibiotic, is on check. It really can delay your time. I had checks, I have antibiotics, I have someone with acute psychosis. Like it was just crazy. It was really, really, really crazy last night. you know, and there have been many of these nights, a lot of these nights. So they are always short of staff. And this is in relation to they not hiring. I think there's a freeze on hiring process or something. And they said it's been like that for some time. They don't hire. People quit. People leave one department, go to the other department, but they are not hiring. And so it puts a lot of pressure and burden on the staff in the hospital, in the VA hospital. So that is where the thing is coming from. See, when you are short of staff, managers are not hiring because they don't have the capacity to hire. You know, they are taking and then the bureaucracy. I don't know whether it's the same with other hospitals. The bureaucracy and AOD, assistant manager, charge nurse, some form of bureaucratic way of doing things. Up to now, I still cannot understand this hierarchy of power, or I don't know how to call it, authority or supervisory or something. But yeah, the number one thing that is really, really stressful and breaking the back and bones of staff there is short of staff. We are always short of staff because hiring process is not going on and people go on vacation. Yes. So every year you have 5 weeks of vacation that you can take, and they bring this book around, and then you have to choose the week that you want to go for the weeks that you want to go. And mind you, they have what we call seniority. Seniority, they will take the book to those who have been in the VA 30 years, 17 years, 12 years. And if you are 8 months in like me, then by the time the book comes to you, they've taken all the months and the weeks that you may have preferred to use for your vacation. So they always, those who have been in the system for far too long, like many years, like one nurse is 30 years there. She has never worked in any other hospital besides VA. Every time that book comes around, she's the one who picks first, and she will pick Christmas or whatever. And so it's hard to get that vacation month that you want, because as someone who seniors you, which is I'm like, and these people don't retire. These nurses, they don't go on retirement. So if they are going to be there for 40 years, it means you will not have access to go for the vacation the month that you want it. Come on. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. I asked the assistant manager, I said, so what is going to happen with this seniority thing? So some of us who just started, we will never be able to do anything, you know? And then she laughs. And then so at some point, she gave some bogus answer. And one thing I also observe is that the staff are always frustrated. And from my point of view, I feel like that frustration is stemming from the short of staff situation, you know. And the frustration also stem from in the middle of the shift, the whoever is the nurse supervisor, the nurse on duty or nurse supervisor on duty, whatever that name is called, AOD. Yeah, I think the name is NOD or AOD. That's what they call them. Nurse supervisor on duty. Anyways, sometimes some of them are really crazy. There's one particular supervisor, super crazy. She can change the assignment like 3 times. God knows what demon is in this woman that makes her do certain. And it causes a lot of frustration. It frustrates all the nurses, and nobody can challenge it. Nobody is there challenging that this is stupid, this is crazy. Don't We won't do this, we won't accept this, we won't make these changes. Nobody speaks. And I'm like, you guys who have been there for that long, if you can't challenge this woman, if you can't tell, because she sits in the office, make that changes, and we suffer on the floor, which is crazy. I'm like, I'm new here, but you, the old people that have, power to talk, you are not talking. I'm going to, if the Lord tarries to come, I'm still there by 1 year time. I am going to challenge. I'm going to challenge her and call out her craziness out to her, make her see reasons. One night she changed the assignment like 3 times, and everybody was huffing, grinding their teeth, gnashing their teeth. And I'm like, this is not right. Nobody saying anything. Why? Why? Anyways, I'm that person that if something doesn't sit well with me, I speak my mind. However, I'm new, so I'm learning the ropes. I'm trying to understand the system, how things work in that hospital, so that I don't shoot myself in the foot. Now, once I study all those things, understand the rules and regulations and how things should go and everything from the manager and everything, I will speak up. Eventually, I'm going to speak up if I happen to be there for a longer period, which I don't intend to. But yeah, I definitely might be speaking up before I leave. So frustrated staff is what I found out. I have observed, and it's an everyday thing, every single day. Some have been there for far too long. They really, you can see from all the indication that they want out, but then it's like they are stuck because they don't know where to go, or they don't know what hospital will tolerate all their excesses, because it's like everybody has an attitude there. Almost all the nurses, everybody has an attitude. Everybody has an attitude. Something I've observed with all of them. Everybody has an attitude, and it's quite interesting. And they are always gossiping and snitching on each other. You know, this person and that person. Even though me, I don't do those things. I go there, work in happiness, happy myself, do my job, and go my way. I don't have time for snitching and gossiping and all those things, nonsense. I don't have time. It's not professional. And it's ungodly for a child of God like me to be gossiping. Gossip is for witches. They need to repent. Yep. So, and then they be fighting each other. I know one male nurse who is always at the throat of the female nurses. He tried to do the same thing to me, but I just walk away gently. He's always, it looks like he has fought almost everybody, all the women. There are 2 gentlemen with us. The other guy is very, very cool and calm. But the other one, oh, Lord have mercy. It's like he didn't have any sisters growing up, or excuse me to say, he wasn't brought up well how to live with women. even the women that are super older than him, and can even birth him. He has no respect, no regard, nothing. He speaks like it's just most time when he's at that point breaking out and shouting, calling names and threatening, yes. He even threatens. It makes the environment very hostile. One night I was so terrified of all the things that he was doing. I was very, very terrified. I wanted to report the manager. I'm like, I guess it's not my business. So it's so hard working with people that are so aggressive and hostile like that. One minute he's laughing and smiling, the next minute he is shouting and screaming and threatening you. Anyways, yeah, so they are always fighting each other. You will see someone, a nurse will go and report to the manager. This person is threatening me. That person is threatening me. That's the favorite term they've been using. And then they will switch. That person will switch from shift A to shift B, different one track to the next track. And then they will come and tell you, I cannot work. The one nurse would be, I cannot work with this CNA. I say, I cannot work with this nurse. Then they have to switch the people, the staff around just to accommodate those who can't tolerate each other. I'm like, come on, people. We are here for only 12 hours. This is not our family home. You know, it's not our family business. Just come and do your work, get paid, and get out of here. Why can't you tolerate somebody for 12 hours, do your job, get paid, and go home? Why must the assignment change because you cannot tolerate the other person? You know, for me, it's just ridiculous. It is just ridiculous. I mean, if we can't tolerate each other on this earth, then heaven is not for us. We cannot tolerate each other there in heaven. God will kick us to hell, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth, because we are going to sit on one table with Jesus to enjoy. So if you can't tolerate your other fellow human being, who else can you tolerate? Anyway, they're always fighting with each other. And then I've observed favoritism with the managers, on the side of the managers. You know, you can see a manager that speaks a certain language, you know, always favoring the other nurse who speak the same language as them. Yeah, yeah. It's quite saddening, because if you're a leader, you must remain neutral. Be on a neutral ground. Don't show favoritism. And she makes it so obvious. She makes it so obvious. It's quite sad. It's quite sad that you can make drastic changes just so you can accommodate the one that comes from your country. You speak the same language. Favoritism should never be part. If you're a leader, great leaders don't show favorite. They are neutral. You have to love everybody equally, treat everybody equally, extend the same give benefits, everything. You know, I've heard a couple of people complain about the manager, how opportunities come, they will not share with them, but any opportunity she will share with that nurse that comes, speak the same language as. So it's just, and then it makes the other nurses to hate on this nurse because she's the manager's favorite. Favoritism is really, it's a canker, and it's a negative plus. It's a negative sign. When you do that, you become biased. You can't judge well. You can't rule well. And it really makes the environment toxic. It makes the environment not conducive, you know. Anyways, so the last thing is, I think I touched on it earlier and I'll touch on it again. That's seniority. I call it seniority madness. Yep, seniority madness. Whoever has been there first, they have to choose their vacation. They have to choose their time off and all that first before those of us who are still new. And that is really bad, because they always choose the same month, the same week. They are off on Christmas and bigger holidays. It's very unfair. Very, very unfair. These people never go on retirement. So imagine. The last thing I want to touch on, the very last thing I want to touch on is that, as I have my masters, I want my degree to be used for a greater purpose than just settling to be a med surg floor nurse. I want to be an educator, a nurse educator, facility where I can be in the role of a nurse educator, much higher, better pay, and where you are really using your skills and your degree is, being beneficial. And by the time I finish my DNP, I need to find myself out. I need to find my way out. I need to find me where the DNP can be used, that skill, that degree can be used in a better pay. I'm not saying that where I'm working, the pay is not good. It's great. It can be greater. It can be greater. That's all I can say. I hope this has been informative enough. Give us a thumbs up, comment about it, share, subscribe. If you wish to be at VA, hopefully you have gone around the other hospitals, gotten experience, 1 or 2 years of experience, get important certifications under your belt, work in a supervisory role. It will bump your pay at VA. If you work as a child nurse or a manager, work at a supervisory role, do certifications, let your degree be in master's level, and you cross 100,000 K plus. I think the highest for the level 4, I believe, is 150 something. Yeah, which is sweet to have, if you want to work to that point for retirement. So I hope these tips will help you make informed and better decision if that's where your next step is. All right, see you in the next video. Bye-bye.